Coming up on Mountain News this morning, one Eastern Kentucky organization hosts an event to educate people about diabetes and how to avoid getting diagnosed with it. And dry weather continues to cause problems across Eastern Kentucky as our forests remain dry and vulnerable to fires.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
6 o'clock. Good morning to you. It's Monday. You know, I was going to say it's Monday, unfortunately, but you know, hey, it's just a day and we're here. Let's head over. Let's head over to Cameron. It is a Monday because my brain is everywhere. I can't read. I was holding back a sneeze earlier. It's been a mess.
Yeah, I mean, it's Monday. What can you say? But it feels like one outside. We got some showers, got some clouds, so it's kind of gloomy as you walk out the door, especially over our southern counties. Northern counties in pretty good shape, but as you go further on towards the south, you may run into a few showers. Here is a current picture at UVA-Wise, looking at a cloudy sky this morning. Current temperature at 63 degrees, so we are pretty mild as you step out the door this morning. 65 in Jackson, 64 in Somerset, and 60 over in Clintwood. So most of us waking up in the 60s this morning. And again, you may need the rain gear as you step out the door as well, especially south of the Howard Rogers Parkway. You may run into a few spotty showers, all thanks to a cold front that's going to continue pushing off towards the south. I have your full forecast coming up in just a little bit. Dakota?
Well, the election season is underway, but already more than 40 million Americans have cast early ballots. Still, President Joe Biden and 3 former presidents spent the weekend crisscrossing the country to drive voter turnout for their party. Meanwhile, the candidates are in the final sprint in their districts while clashing on the major issues driving this year's midterms. Skylar Henry has more from Capitol Hill.
Over the weekend, 4 U.S. presidents hit the campaign trail. A day after President Biden and former President Barack Obama made a joint push for Pennsylvania's Democrats, Mr. Biden went to New York.
This election isn't a referendum, it's a choice. It's a choice between 2 fundamentally different visions of America.
Former President Donald Trump also went to Pennsylvania Saturday, then to Florida on Sunday.
You need to vote every Democrat out of office and vote for Republicans up and down the ballot.
While former President Bill Clinton was in Nevada.
Everything I worked for all my life is on the line now.
History in the midterms typically favors the party that's not currently in control of the presidency. As candidates make their final push, they're trying to motivate voters through a series of key hot-button issues, like crime.
What we're here talking about in the need to fight crime shouldn't even be viewed as a Democrat versus Republican issue.
We have to continue getting illegal guns out of the hands of people who harm to others.
And inflation.
Look at the economy. Right, look at the economy. They've destroyed it.
I'm going to keep working on this issue to bring down costs.
Threats to election officials and political violence remain a concern heading into tomorrow. A federal intelligence bulletin recently warned that domestic violent extremists across the ideological spectrum pose a heightened threat to the midterm and beyond Election Day, though there are no specific threats currently. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
In the latest concerning incident, officials with the Arizona Republican gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake's campaign said a staffer opened an envelope containing a suspicious white powder. The FBI and Phoenix police have confirmed to CBS News that early Sunday they responded to reports of suspicious items located inside the mail at the campaign's office building. Well, people in Pikeville gathered at the Appalachian Wireless Arena during the weekend for breakfast with a special guest. The Democratic Women's Club of Kentucky hosted the Carl D. Perkins Memorial Breakfast, where local and state candidates, as well as special guest U.S. Senate candidate Charles Booker, addressed the crowd prior to Election Day. Booker says this event was important to show that he is with Eastern Kentucky every step of the way.
Today was really a moment to just rally the troops and remember that we're standing together as family, not just Democrats, Republicans, Independents, but as Kentuckians. And so I wanted to come back in town to say that I'm with you every step of the way, and I know we need a U.S. Senator who cares about our lives, and democracy is at stake. Our human rights are at stake, and so we have to vote, and we have to stand together now.
Other candidates also stressed the importance of voting this upcoming Tuesday or via your county's early voting opportunities to ensure your voice is heard. And incumbent Senator Rand Paul has also been making the rounds ahead of November 8th. Police funding, abortion, and bringing down inflation are just some of the key issues that he and Booker are deeply divided on.
$4 trillion comes in, we should spend $4 trillion. The state government spends what comes in. Your city government, your county government spends what comes in. The only government that doesn't is the federal government.
Senator Paul does not support the Inflation Reduction Act already passed by Congress, an act that pays on deficits while simultaneously paying out on climate change programs. But Booker says he would get behind it. Reports have recently surfaced about a diesel shortage here in the U.S., but experts say it's something people need to not panic over. Now, Lori Weaver-Hawkins with AAA says the country currently has about a 25-day supply of diesel, but that metric has been misinterpreted by some. She says that would only be the case if diesel stopped being produced, but reports have prompted some panic among consumers, leading them to buy in large quantities.
We're not running out in 25 days, but please don't panic buy, because that does upset the recovery as far as supply demand goes.
Drivers running on diesel are feeling the pain at the pump as a result of the shortage. She points out that diesel prices are especially important because it comes at a greater cost to the population than just the fill-up, since many retailers rely on trucks powered with diesel. It is Diabetes Awareness Month, and the Floyd County Diabetes Coalition recently hosted a Walk Your Way event to support the awareness initiative. Locals participated in a walk around Archer Park in Prestonsburg and learned how to defend themselves against diabetes. Those with the coalition say it is their mission to bring awareness to the community.
Just to show our community that we care. We want to help you to figure out how you can manage your diabetes best.
Coalition members also say it is their goal to decrease diabetes rates in the state each year. Well, the holiday season is here. One organization is doing its part in ensuring Kentuckians have received the things they need to have a Thanksgiving meal, hoping to help people to have a filling holiday. Our Alyssa Williams was there for God's Pantry Food Bank's annual Sharing Thanksgiving Basket Brigade to learn more.
This Thanksgiving, hundreds of Kentuckians won't have to wonder if they will have a Thanksgiving meal or not.
It is amazing, and I can't tell you how honored and blessed I am to be able to be here and be part of this and know that we're helping our neighbors that may not have a meal this year.
As part of their annual Sharing Thanksgiving Basket Brigade, God's Pantry Food Bank hosted dozens of volunteers to put together 1,000 Thanksgiving meal boxes.
So one of the things that we really cherish about Sharing Thanksgiving is an opportunity for us to help households that may not have a meal to eat and to be able to gather with loved ones to share in the blessings of a Thanksgiving meal and, the joy of whatever life may hold going forward.
These food boxes, along with other Thanksgiving supplies, will be given out later this month to families in Laurel, Clay, and Jackson counties.
We're giving out a box of food, a turkey, eggs, potatoes, onions, the whole meal for 1,000 families.
But those with God's Pantry Food Bank say events like this do more than just feed those in need.
And it's indescribable because you literally are changing somebody's life, not just for that day, for the whole rest of the year. Because you're giving them hope for Christmas and for the, hey, we had Thanksgiving, man, this is, the Lord's been good to me and it's been awesome, and now we can go on and we have hope to do better.
Aiming to feed the bodies and the spirits of those in need this Thanksgiving. In London, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, through the organization's usual meal distributions, God's Pantry Food Bank is still focusing on flood relief efforts. It received a $300,000 donation from Jackson Warewashing Systems to continue relief efforts. Extremely dry weather continues to create a high fire danger across eastern Kentucky. It hasn't been this dry in the Daniel Boone National Forest in about 12 years. The majority of the forest fires that happened in the Red River Gorge happened because of backcountry campers who failed to completely extinguish campfires.
When you're coming out to a place like the Red River Gorge and maybe you want to do some backcountry camping, think about what you're going to be doing that night. And one thing I'd recommend is maybe not even having a fire. Maybe just looking up at the stars, doing some stargazing.
There are ways to easily prevent forest fires if you are backcountry camping or just camping in general. Put out your fire and extinguish it completely. You do that by adding water, stirring it, and then adding more water. Then put your hand close to where the fire was. If it's cool, then you're good to go.
Well, the good news is we are getting a little bit of relief this morning because we are looking at some showers across the region. Here is a live look over at the London Corbin Airport. A few showers not too far away. Current temperature is sitting at 63 degrees over at the airport, 65 in Pikeville, 65 also in Jackson, 63 in Wise, and 61 for Manchester and Harlan. And like I said, a few showers on the board this morning, especially near the Kentucky, Tennessee, Virginia borders, places like Barberville, over towards Whitesburg and down towards Hyden, getting in on some of those showers this morning. You may need the umbrella as you step out the door this morning, but the good news is sunshine returns later on today, and a beautiful day is on tap on Tuesday and Wednesday. Temperatures warming up into the 70s by the middle of the week, but we are tracking a major cool down this weekend. All those details in just a little bit. Dakota?
All right, Cameron, thank you so much. When we come back here on Mountain News this morning, a prominent Republican candidate for the Oval Office pulls out of the race after some thought and consideration. We'll have more in just a few minutes.